Hey traders, Parker here with another indicator. Today I'll introduce you to the ATR close average. And basically what I've done is I've taken an ATR and I've added a plus or minus on the closing average of the stock. Right now I'm using an average of 12, and whatever average you choose, that's going to be the same thing as the ATR, and the close is going to be using the same average. So it kind of works like Bollinger Bands, or you can say just deviations. But for the most part, the center line right here is the actual close average. I'm using a simple as well. So this gray line right here is one ATR, or close average plus one ATR of the stock, and the yellow line is 2 times ATR. And you can see once the price go way above it, it's probably going up 3 times ATR. But for the most part, you can look at this as being very volatile. And this is the first hour of the day. And this is one minus ATR and one minus 2 times ATR as well. So you can almost look at them like Bollinger Bands. The ATR is a volatility in average true range is a volatility indicator, and for the most part, it uses an average. And this is what the ThinkorSwim ATR is, or looks like. For the most part, most traders look for the ATR to be increasing to show represents volatility. You can see right here doing before the pre-market, you can see right here is going down and it started to increase. But the ATR doesn't give you a direction of which way the stock is actually moving. You will actually use the closing average. So its price is below the close average. And then you're looking at ATR increase, then you can almost bet that the volatility is to the downside, and vice versa. If ATR is going up, it's slanted up. So if I push it back, you can see it is actually slanted up. So volatility is increasing, and price is above the average. So you can look as though volatility is pushing up to the upside. But this really doesn't give you a whole lot of information. So what I did was just do the rate of change. So, and I'm going to hide the true range for a moment and show you that this is basically the same thing. I just have it as a histogram. And I've done it where it's using a quarter of the actual average. And you can find both these indicators in the description. Just looking at for the link in the description, and you can get these indicators. And this one just called ATR rate of change, and that's basically the same thing it's showing you here, except for it's showing you on the histogram and it's showing you at the rate of change. And I have it set to 12 also, so if it's using a quarter, it's using every 3 bars to give you some form of rate of change. The color wise, but the actual average of it is based off of 12. So if I just push this to 1, it'll be 12 as well. And just using a percentage of the, and you can see how the colors have changed, or the profile of the colors have changed, to this being somewhat of a quiet period, this being a volatile period here. But that's not, like I said, it's not giving you a whole lot of information. But that's one of the reasons why I chose to do a quarter of the actual average, to give you a greater representation. You can see right here, it pushed down into a quiet period, and the volatile period actually started right there. But the ATRs, the average range, is actually increasing. So I'm going to get rid of the ThinkorSwim, the regular average true range. I'm going to put the true range on here. And you can see the simple 12 move average and the color normal length percent change. So this is what true range looks like, actual true range. So we can go into the code and you can see the true range right here. True range, high, close, low. And that's basically what I did. And here's the color changes for the true range. If it's above average, or true range is above average, the average true range, then it'd be cyan. If it's below average true range, then it'd be blue. And then for me, that just shows you volatility. So you can see right here, true range, actual true range is of each candle or bar is above average, and you can see right there it shifted colors, and it went back below average for a moment, or dipped back below average for a moment, then pushed right back out, and it hit its max or its highest right here on this huge candle right here. So if you want to look at this like this in another way, you could say the stock actually pushed up above probably 3 times ATR, and it pushed back down to one. This would be one ATR. This would be another ATR. Back to the close would be another ATR. So you can say this whole bar is like 4 times ATR. So this is a very volatile candle. Another way of looking at it is being like this. So from close to this 1 times ATR to 2 times ATR. Same way with close to 1 times ATR to 2 times ATR. So that's why I'm saying 4. So that's why I'm saying with these two indicators, you can basically see the volatility, but neither one of them is going to give you the direction. So you really relying on the close average or whatever other indicator that you want to use, maybe momentum. But for the most part, this is the indicator. One of the other ones that I actually tried to pair with was volume average rate of change. So same principle, same concept, I should say. Let me make that one 25 as well. But it's saying true range, but it's volume. I just forgot to change the names of the variables. And we're going to just change this to volume. I say true volume. And I shouldn't be doing this on the video, but this is basically it. So we won't be confused. And volume, I'm just gonna say volume 2, volume 2, volume 2, and we're going to say volume AVG, volume average. So colors, which has volume average, volume average, volume average. And this is just a peek underneath the hood. So volume average, and volume average should cover everything. Alright, so now when I click on it, it should say true volume, volume average, and so on and so forth. So did it come down? Yeah, it came down. So right now it's showing you the same colors. Oops. Just come over here, and those colors are going to be permanent. This plot colors are dynamically set, so they can't be changed. But these right here can be changed. I'm just going to change this to green and leave that one red. So you can see the actual change in volume as well. So both of these will be in the description in the video. So just grab them if you want to use them. But if you want to look at volume, what is volume doing? So this line right here represents volume, actual volume. This is volume average. It's a ThinkorSwim indicator as well. So another way to look at it is volume average. I'm going to put this on 12. And that's basically, it's showing you the same exact thing. So if I were to change this to a histogram, it's showing you the same exact thing. It's just a line instead of the bars, these bars down here. And if I were to stop displaying the bars, you basically generally just get the same line that you're getting down here. And if you wanted to, you can make it a histogram just to show you that it's the same thing. Same thing, same concept. So this line represents actual volume or true volume. This is the volume average, and what I just showed you was the average. So this is volume average. So set at 12, it's showing you the same thing, and I shouldn't be doing all this, but for the most part, I just wanted you to know that it's the same thing. So same thing. You can look up there and see the same numbers as well. So, same thing. So, we can get rid of that. But if you want this version of it, it's just going to show you the rate of change of volume average. And you can see how volume started going down on this bar, but rate of true range was still increasing. But what I'm saying to you is this is only going to be looking at price. This is only going to be looking at volume. And you want to pair them together or pair them with another indicator that uses price and volume together. But for the most part, this indicator is mainly used for risk management. So if you're in a trade and you're thinking about taking a trade on this, and you see the average range on this stock right here of the day would be your risk. Well, this would be your risk. This would be one ATR. You'll be your risk, and you want to at least try and reach for 2 times ATR to be your profit. So that'll be your risk reward ratio. So if I'm thinking about getting in the stock right here, and it actually comes down or comes up to the average of the stock, the closing average right here, then I would use this 1 times ATR as my risk, with 2 times ATR as being my target, and the stock actually pushed above that to possibly 3 times ATR. And you can manipulate this how you want to, so we can actually look at it like this. I can push this to 3, and that'd be the multiplier. So now you have 3 times ATR. So that's just the multiplier where you can go in there. You can change all of that. So, but you're only going to get those 2 lines right there. So you have the 1 times ATR or the 2 times ATR, but those are just your multipliers. So target multiplier 1 and 2, and 1, I just had it 1 times ATR. So right back to it. But this is a risk management tool. So if I know the stock on average moves 1 true range, then that I would basically set my trades up like that. And you can see right here that it actually pushed down to 2 times ATR, and it came right back in line, and it basically rode below the closing average and just basically rode the true range. So it's moving accordingly, but it's moving in a downward. And it actually came right here for the day. These lines right here are based on my weekly chart, and I'll go to that in a moment just to show you that the indicator works on all time frames. But you can see how I was looking for a divergence between ATR and volume, but for the most part, you can see how volume is going down. This rate of change is going down while average true range is increasing. So that'll be one of the divergences you want to look for. And confluence is both of them going down up into this part right here. And you can say another confluence when both of them spiked up as well on this bar right here. And you can look at this bar right here being is a highway candle or a spinning top, but basically almost a doji candle. But you can see right here, this indicator is basically to help you look at how a stock is moving or how far a stock has moved away from its average, closing average and its average true range, to give you some understanding for certain targets to reach for. Just like my other indicator, the ATR daily that's used on the daily, it's showing you the same thing. It has used its hold true range for those bars. And right now, like I said, I have it set for 12. 12 bars on a 5-minute chart gives you an hour. So that's one of the reasons why I use 12 on everything on a 5-minute chart. And you can see right here, it based down, but I only went 1 true range. One true range here. Found support pushed above the close. So if you wanted to take it long before, just set your buy order at the average of the stock and shoot for 1 times ATR to 2 times ATR. Or you can look at it like this. I'm gonna stay in the stock until it crosses back below to 1 times ATR here, and then get out of the stock and just ride it from this bar right here all the way up to here. So that'll be a nice way of using this indicator. But this is no way, form, or shape, or any type of financial advice. This is just a better understanding of the utility of the indicator. And you can look at it right here. It pushed down, but how far did it go? Just to 2 times ATR. Just like if a stock was moving 2 times, two deviations, if you were using a Bollinger Bands. And you can look right here. This is green, and you see true range and volume rate of change are both showing confluence. They're both increasing. And you got your decrease right here on true range, but volume kept increasing, and you can see the S&P 500 went ahead and broke out. But one of the ways you can use is just the same way with the volume. I mean, the VWAP. If it pushed all the way down to 2 times ATR, then you could probably bet that, hey, you're going to look for a turnaround or a push above, and you want to really look for volume to give you the confirmation for the push above. So let's go to another chart. This is just the news. So this is what it looks like on a weekly, and you can see those same lines right here. If I push back out, this line right here is the same as this week on this weekly chart right here. This line right here, you look at the cursor, it's right there on that line, and it got rejected once it hit this higher line on the weekly chart, and this stock pushed back down. So I'm pushing all my support and resistance lines are on this weekly chart. So it pushed up to this candle's high right here, and it pushed back down. And it actually broke above this high, this last week's high right here. And now it's above it. So you can possibly look for the S&P 500 to retest this area right here. If I zoom out, and I got the fibs all the way to the high of the S&P 500 to the low of the move, and you can see the S&P 500 is basically trading within a range, looking for or waiting for a break, and this is just ATR. And we can go to the daily chart, and it actually hit 2 times ATR, but it's been riding the 1 times ATR line right here. So you can look at it like this. This whole entire area is one ATR. This whole entire area between this 1 times ATR and the closing average is 1 ATR as well. So you can look at it like this. It made its 1 times ATR. It made its move. It made a move for the range of ATR, and it actually stopped and then pushed it back above. There are no guarantees in the stock market, but for the most part, you can see how the actual stock moved from this 2 times ATR to 1 times ATR, found support, and then it pushed up above. And it's trying to push above 2 times ATR, but it found resistance right here. This is on a daily chart. On my daily, I use 16 for everything. And yep, I'm still using, but the volatility is to the downside, or the volatility is falling off. But it actually pushed ATR actually average is going down, but actual ATR is above average. So you're actually getting a lot of volatility in this area. Same situation here. This is very volatile for this move, and you're looking for a move above the average, the closing average, simple closing move average. But just like ATR, or just like Bollinger Bands get close in those quiet periods, ATR does the same thing. You can look right here as ATR is going down, or the average of ATR is going down. These lines are converging or coming together as well to show you that there's a lack of volatility in that area. Or you can say it's actually a pent up move getting ready to happen. Same situation here. You can see ATR is going down or almost in a straight line right here, and it's at this high. So you can almost look at it like it's being pent up. And once ATR pushed above, or whatever, or this average pushed above, same situation down here, you actually got your move to the downside. But you only know that once it dropped below the closing average. And if I get rid of this and I just get rid of this, we can see ATR a little bit better. So here's the move right here, ATR, and you see it went through this quiet period, and then from there it bursts up above. And that's what I mean by the rate of change on the average. But like I said, you can get all three of these indicators just looking at the link in the description, and they'll be right there waiting for you. But that's how, I mean, that's basically how I would use it, especially if I was swing trading. So I would look on whatever your average that you want to use. Like I said, I use 16. The reason why I use 16 is because there's basically 253 trading days. And you multiply that by 25. I'm looking for a quarter. So that'll break it up into your months and or your days or whatever. And I do it again, and 25% of that, so you get 15. I just round up to 16. But that's basically why I use 16 on a daily. So you can come right here as well where the price was stuck between it made its move, the true range. It made its move for the day, on the 16-day average of the true range. It made its move here, came back to the average, broke down below, made its move for the range average, and pushed back above, found somewhat resistance, broke back above, and it rode the true average line up into that point. And that's basically what you're going to be using this as like I said, a risk management tool. How far, if it goes above the average of the stock, how much further can it possibly go? And it actually went up to its actual range for the time period. And right now, the true range is set at $4.86, and then you got 2 times ATR, $9.72. And right now, if we took these two numbers right here, this gray 14 and 415, so that should be $4.86. So if you would have thought about getting in the stock back here, what happens if it pushed down back to its true range line right here? You could have gotten the stock right here, used the closing price as your risk, and rode the true range line right here up into that point. But you also see volatility was sloping off, or average true range was sloping off, so it's actually decreasing, but the stock is moving up, and it's basically stuck in this range like I showed you earlier on the weekly. And it's a lot more clear on the weekly, but for the most part, that's what you're going to use this indicator as a volatility indicator and as a risk management tool. It's very simple, it's to the point, and like I said before, you can find all three of the indicators that I showed you in the description of the video. And like I said, this is volume rate of change, ATR rate of change. Just look for them in the video. I mean, in the description. I hope that you found this informative, and I hope that this has helped you get some understanding. So take it and use it. And I'm asking you, please give me some feedback in the comment section after you use the indicator for a while, and just tell me how it worked out for you, and if you see any areas of improvement. Just let me know, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time out to listen to what I had to say. And like I said before, you want to use these as a risk management tool. Possible support right here because it's made its full range, true range move, and same situation, 2 times true range, or true range from the 1 time true range, and same situation here. If the price break above its moving average, how much further can I expect the stock to actually move? And that's what this on average, move on average. And that's what the average true range is basically telling you. How much further can I expect the stock to actually move? And that's how you want to use your risk management or your targets. Set your targets up. But if you haven't already, please like, subscribe. And like I said before, I want to thank you for taking the time out to listen to what I had to say. Hope it was helpful and informative, but it's not telling you that this is no way, shape, and form any type of financial advice to you buy, sell, or trade or anything. But thank you For listening, what I have to say, stay safe out there and God bless.